Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. If you've already subscribed, if you like this video, give us a like or dislike, whichever you prefer. Now, let's get on with this. So in today's video, we're actually going to talk about the top 5 defense Digimon. So I'm going to go with you the top 5 free to play and also the top 5 pay to win as well, for example. Now, I'm going to go first with the top 5 pay-to-win Digimons, alright? So what that means, pay-to-win, is basically, obviously, you can't get them for free. You literally have to spend diamonds for them or, like, pay in order to get them. Now, the top one for me, literally, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do this, like the fourth, third, and, like, second and first. I'm going to go with the first, the top one, I think. Now, this is just my opinion. I know everyone's going to have different opinions, but, so just keep that in mind, it's just my opinion. So, first things first, alright? Now, the top one for pay-to-win Digimons is basically, it's Jupitermon right here. Okay. Now, Jupitermon is new. Now, this is basically a release of May 2019. Now, Jupitermon is so far the best defense type Digimon in this, like, in the server. Apart from that, obviously, if you guys go through Jupitermon's skill, it's like pretty amazing, which I'll go through there first, afterwards, sorry. Now, apart from Jupitermon, the second one which I will go with is, for me, in my opinion, I'm gonna go with Alphamon, which I don't have unlocked yet, but obviously, where is Alphamon? Alphamon is right over here, which we have Reptile Dramon here, so that's Alphamon. Okay, so that's my second opinion of top 5 pay-to-win Digimons. Now, the third one is a bit different because I know Chaosmon is really good Digimon, like especially a strong one. Even though it's not pay-to-win, you can unlock it for free. But because it's like kind of really strong as well, especially like for 1v1, even for team-wise, it's very helpful with this Fury reduction. Now, it's Chaosmon slash Craniumon. So I'll go with Craniumon, but because I'm making this as a basically this is a pay-to-win. So this way, I'm gonna put it like in between Craniumon and slash Chaosmon. Now I have Chaosmon right over here, guys. So his battle power is basically 419,000, and it's a potential 15 because I have a breakthrough unlocked. And also at the same time I have a 6-stage genetics of Chaosmon unlocked too. So you can see over here. Now Chaosmon with his skills is pretty amazing, and the best thing with Chaosmon is like its shield is amazing too. Now obviously I said to you like this in between after Alphamon is Chaosmon and Craniumon. Now if I scroll down to Craniumon, if I just find Craniumon over here, so right here, which is Gladimon. So we have Kotamon, Gladimon, and Nightmon, and then followed by Craniumon. Now Craniumon's defense is pretty good. Its skills are really nice as well because it actually has, let's have a look over here. So during the battle there is a 47% chance to increase with skill level to reduce direct damage received by 30%. That's a big amount of difference, you know. To recover self HP upon any enemy deaths and remove all debuffs on itself. Anyway, I'll go through the skills later. Now the next Digimon I have here is obviously Devimon for top 5 pay-to-win Digimons. Now I added this as a top 5 pay-to-win, but Devimon now is actually available free to get, so you guys can actually get Devimon from a crossover Mine War. Now if you're actually looking for like pay-to-win Digimon, the next option obviously would have to be Apollomon, but Apollomon right now is pay-to-win, free to play as well. Basically you can unlock Apollomon like slowly for free. So that's Devimon right there. It's a potential 16. Okay, now if I scroll down and you guys gonna see Apollomon. Where is it? Oh, here we go, right here. So far Apollomon's shards are like literally free to get right now. So far, like you guys can see that I have 137 shards out of 150, so I've been getting 137 shards for free, all from the where is this from? Not from there. Yeah, from here, Guild Battle, you can get them for free there as well. And I mentioned to you guys earlier that you can get Devimon shards over here. for free. Okay, now let's go through the skills of these like pay-to-win Digimon. So as I mentioned, like my top one right now is obviously Jupitermon for defense type Digimon. That's a number one. The next one would have to be Alphamon, followed by Chaosmon slash Craniamon, and then that goes to Devimon and Alphamon, Apollomon. My mistake. Okay, now let's go through the skill of Jupitermon first, since I did this in order. Now, it's a potential of 17 Digimon. It's Thunder Control and Divine Punishment. Basically, what Thunder Control is, basically once it gives Divine Punishment to the enemy Digimon, basically that enemy Digimon is forced to attack Jupitermon instead. Its fates are not exactly easy to unlock because they do require like other Digimon which are newer and also require you to spend a lot of diamonds. So mostly pay to win, yeah. Now let's go with its first skill. So hit each other with Hammer of the Arms and summon a small feather cloud. Deal damage to vertical row. Transfer double of self-defense to HP. If Junimon is in battle, recover same HP for Junimon. Copy the debuff to the front target to the back one for 2 rounds. Can't copy Exile by losing Divine Punishment, Effect by Digimon series, and the Death of Numemon and Digimon series. And also steal the buffs of front target. If himself didn't release normal skill last round, will definitely release in the next round. Now its ultimate skill is pretty nice. So use a heavy hammer to guide lightning in the thundercloud and release the lightning penalty. Deal damage to 3 random targets, increase 25% damage and damage immune rate for self, lasts for 2 rounds. It has 50% chance to cast Divine Judgment debuff on the targets for 1 round. Targets unable to use normal skill and ultimate skill are forced to attack Digimon series. When Jupitermon was attacked, he copied the buff of the attacker to himself, which is really good like ultimate skill there. Now its passive skill, which is right over here, so Divine Punishment in wide area. In battle, decrease 13.65 attack for all enemy Digimon. Can't be stacked with same passive. Increase self 25% defense. Increase 5% extra defense every time before being attacked. Can be stacked up to 6 times after death. Decrease the killer 50% damage, 50% damage immune rate, and 50% fury recovery rate. Lower effective boss, and transfer a buff of self to random ally Digimon, lasts for 2 rounds. Okay, that's nice, pretty nice. And basically Jupitermon is a Courage Soul Digimon. Okay, so we're done with Jupitermon. Next is Alphamon. Let's go with Alphamon right here. Okay, Alphamon is still a pot 17 Digimon. It's basically its fates are not as easy to unlock compared to the other ones, especially Chaosmon. Now, its skills are pretty nice. Reptile Drama use mouth to bite and tail to sweep the enemy, deal damage over the row of enemies, and receive 1 ultimate skill effect of the targets. Can be used when releasing your own ultimate skills. Slows the target's fury recovery speed by 50% for 1 round, and there is a large probability to reduce the damage endured 2 rounds, and there is a 100% chance to release small skills in the first round. Okay, awesome. Now, Reptile Dramon, it is its ultimate skill. It releases a great deal of flame bullets to bomb the enemy targets, dealing damage to enemies in a vertical row. The more the enemy releases the ultimate skill, the higher attack and defense of his ultimate skill you will have, from 20% to 30 max, lasting for 2 rounds. The ultimate skill will take extra ultimate skill effect from the learning of small skill. Oh, nice. And cause extra damage according to self-defense. So basically, the higher defense your Alphamon has, that means that the higher damage it's going to do. Now it's passive. In battle, it's immune to control effect, including stun, paralyze, freeze, silence, ignite, seal, and so forth. If there are at least 3 Digimon with plus 16 or above, including enemy Digimon, it resurrects with 20% HP, 50% of previous fury will be inherited after resurrection. Nice. Okay, now I mentioned you guys that the next one will have to be Craniamon slash Chaosmon. Now let's go with Craniamon over here first, since I am right here. It's a pot 16 Digimon. You can get him from Red Draw. That's the only way for the time being. Excuse me there. Okay, its skills are pretty nice. I'm gonna try not to read all of them, to be honest. Let me read only the ultimate skill. Okay, so we have here Digimon draws an 8-fold star mark in the enemy's camp and gives them recompensate to attack enemies in front row, which deals damage and absorbs target's defense in round. The total absorption is 50% of its defense, which is allocated to each target equally. If Digimon has fought for more than 3 rounds, it increases 30% attack and increases the speed to recover self-fury by 15%, which is nice. And its soul base is a light soul, bright battle soul. Now Chaosmon, I know I'm like VIP 12 and also at the same time I am basically free to play, but Chaosmon is like pretty amazing. I mean, his ultimate skill with his Fury Reduction and his normal skill with his Fury Reduction 2 is really nice. Let's have a look. So you can see its fates are pretty easy to unlock. Now I have here Breakthrough and I have Awaken 2 and I have Genetics. So Ultra Awaken, we have Breakthrough and we have Breakthrough again, Bounce Blade. So here you can see Chaosmon uses Bounce Sword to release Sumo Swordsmanship. It deals damage to enemies in vertical row, deals extra, look at this guy, so extra 100% damage to an attack Digimon and decrease 45% defense 2 rounds and 600 fury to the main target. Increase 20% defense 2 rounds and 20% block rate 2 rounds for the row he is in. So if you put him in the front row, your front row Digimons basically get 20% block and 20% defense. Decrease damage received from attack type Digimon by 30%. Basically that's his ultimate skill. Now its passive, start with the 3rd round, it will add a Chaos Shield to itself for every 2 rounds, which can resist some damage equal to 39.9 of current HP. While the shield is active, it protects the owner from all control skills, reduces the critical rate and block rate of random enemy by 12% for 2 rounds. Once the shield is broken, all enemy Digimon will have minus 10% attack for 2 rounds. So that's a good effect right there, okay? Now, Chaosmon is a light battle soul 2. Alright, so we went through Chaosmon. Next is Digimon. Let's go to Digimon. Digimon is a little bit outdated right now because there's a lot stronger new Digimon out, especially since Alphamon's been out as well in Jupitermon. Its fates are a bit easier to unlock than Jupitermon and Alphamons, but still do require you to be patient with this. Now, its ultimate skill, basically how Digimon works is like it does a lot of damage to attack type Digimons and also it recovers a lot of fury. Now, its ultimate skill, it says manipulate a countless swarm of bats and attack a random enemy at back row, dealing damage with 40% extra HP reduction. Also deal 100% extra damage with HP reduction for attack type enemy Digimon. So basically this is the same as Chaosmon, but the only difference is Chaosmon reduces fury while Digimon it actually recovers health. So this is the only 2 difference, and it says here once exclusive weapon is awakened, it can increase revival rate by 30%. Now its ultimate skill. In battle one can greatly did I say ultimate skill? I meant passive skill. In battle one can greatly increase control resistance rate. Once it's upgraded to max, one can almost be immune to control. Also increase control resistance rate by 40% for self. So yeah, and it is a light soul as well. So now, that's basically my top 5 like kind of pay to win, apart from the last 2. Alright guys, now my free to play Digimons, like especially defense type Digimons, is obviously my first one is gonna be Chaosmon right here. That's my number 1 free to play Digimon for defense type. The reason for that is you can actually get his shard very easily. On top of that, like you can get his awakened weapon pretty easy too. You can get, let me just show you the awakened weapon over here. Let me just go on exchange. So far I have bought 2 awakened weapon of Chaosmon from the shop over here. So here, bounce your blade. Now, the reason why I'm showing you guys is like because it's a free-to-play Digimon, and you know you can see here I have Awakened, and at the same time, if I showed you earlier where I have Genetics 6-stage Awaken as well, which requires an awakened weapon. Okay, now we went through the skills of Chaosmon already, so I'm not gonna go through that again. Now the next one, I'm gonna go with Gargamon, because Gargamon is a free to get Digimon, which is right over here. We have Gargamon here. Its fates are easy to get, and it's basically, if I show you its ultimate skill, you guys, this is really nice, because during full moon, Black Gargamon gather all power to unleash energy waves and deal damage to vertical row, and decrease damage rate by 40% for self. Also increase damage reduction by 60% for self. So basically it's going to decrease damage by 40%, and it's going to increase damage reduction by 60% for self, lasting for 2 rounds, which is pretty amazing. And it also, once you awaken weapon, it attaches 35% stun rate. That's really nice. Now this passive in battle 1 can increase 350 defense for all allied Digimon. And then you have here Light Battle Soul again. Now, Alpha, basically, I was going to say Alphamon, but Gargamon is a very, very good option for a free-to-play team. Especially for defense-wise, it's so good, especially once it releases ultimate skill. Now, the next free-to-play defense-type Digimon I'm going to add on here, my third one, is Devimon. Now, the reason for that is obviously because Devimon now is free-to-play, because you can actually unlock him from a crossover Mind War, and that's how I actually unlocked mine, everyone. So far, you can see that I have him at 4 stars. So I've been getting shards 1 by 1 from Crossover Mind War. Anyway, let's go through his skill. Well, actually, we went through the skills earlier, so we don't actually need to do that again. Now, the next one after this Devimon, basically, now this is a bit interesting because there are 3 options. Obviously, you have Mermaidmon, which is right down here. Right here. Now, the next one I have is Stash Angemon and Beetlemon. So, Stash Angemon is this one over here. Okay. And then Beetlemon is this one here, which is Rhino Kabuterimon, the Mega Evolution line. Okay, now in my order, how I would like this is basically I literally went with Slash Angemon next. The reason for that is so if I just go to Slash Angemon, so basically the main reason why I'm going for Slash Angemon is that for free-to-play Digimon, free-to-play team, you can actually get the awakened weapon of Slash Angemon for free right over here, Heaven's Ripper. Now I've already awakened Slash Angemon's weapon here. You guys can see that. Now, if I go back to Slash Angemon's skill, one of the reasons why I think Slash Angemon is really good for team-wise, for free-to-play, is that it's passive. Now, its passive, it says revive from battle and gain max fury with 69% chances to revive with 64.8% HP. On the other hand, when you're actually fighting with 1v1 in, like, for example, a Challenger tournament or other arena sections, especially Challenger tournaments, actually. Now, I've seen with my own eyes, even when I was actually using my Slash Angemon in Challenger tournaments, it does actually revive more than once. From my experience, I've seen Slash Angemon revive 5 times, which is a big amount of difference. Now, let's go through his skill. Its ultimate skill, Leap to release Strong Whirlwind to deal damage all target enemies. It has here 12.5% chances to stun target for 1 round. It can increase 10% chances of revival rate when revival 10% HP. Okay, nice. Now, its normal skill, basically, slash with 2 swords to produce cross aura. It deals damage to enemy. When enemy's HP is less than 40%, one can increase 30% extra damage. When self HP falls below 50%, gains additional effect, deals additional 50% damage if target's HP falls below 50. Now that's pretty nice. Oh wow, excuse me there guys. Got a little sneezy wheezy there. Okay, now the next one. So I mentioned Mermaidmon and Beetlemon. In my opinion, I literally went for Beetlemon because I usually have only one type of defense type in my team. That's why I went for Beetlemon. But if you guys are actually planning to have more than one defense type Digimon in your team, especially if you're for free to play, so in this case, I'm actually going to go for the number 4 Digimon to have for free to play is going to be Mermaidmon. The reason for that is I will go through right now. How Mermaidmon is basically works is that you need to have 2 defense type Digimons in your team in order for her passive to become available. And if I scroll down to its passive right now, so it says here in battle increase self 12.8% reflection rate if there are 2 or more defensive allied Digimon are in battle, increase damage immune rate by 10% and 10% fury recover speed for defensive Digimon, and increase self 30% damage immune rate and 30% fury recover speed in the first round, which is pretty cool. But the best thing about this is that it's ultimate skill. So it says here, wield Trident and summon 3 water tornado to deal damage to all enemies. It randomly decreases 2 enemies 150 fury, increases speed to recover self fury by 30%. Now, basically its ultimate skill, it decreases fury to random enemy Digimons, which is very good. Now its normal skill, it says build a water cell to strand enemies and deal damage to a single enemy target, reducing the speed of recovering fury by 30%. And now, in a way to compare Ancient Mermaidmon is basically it's a downgraded version of Alphamon. Okay, its skills are almost similar to Alphamon apart from the ultimate skill, but its normal skill is similar to Alphamon. But obviously it's a pot 15 Digimon, and its soul type is Light Battle Soul again. Now next, finally, is we're gonna go through Beetlemon. Where is Beetlemon? Right over here. And I also want to let you guys know that obviously this is my opinion. There is another option down here. Where is here we go. We have here Pandamon. Now, in my opinion, I would really love to add Pandamon in the top 5. This would actually literally go on my 6th list. The reason for that is basically Pandamon is literally acts as an actual defense type Digimon. The reason for that is I will show you right now. If we go on to here, ultimate skill. Okay, so the Pandamon style Taichi created by himself deals damage to all enemies with 25%. That's 25% chances to mock all enemy targets. Offensive Digimon increases 10% extra mocking rate when the target enemies who are mocked release normal skills or normal attacks. Skills or ultimate skills, they will aim at the location where Pandamon is by force. So basically, when the enemy Digimon are mocked, they will only attack Pandamon. They will not attack any other Digimon in your team. They'll just basically going to attack Pandamon in a vertical row, or if their attack is basically horizontal. But they will always aim at Pandamon. Now, for example, Pandamon, single target vertical row where Pandamon is in, and the horizontal row where Pandamon is in, with ultimate skill range unchanged. Oops. Ooh, what's going on? Unchanged, so as to directly reduce the damage to themselves by 25%, lasting for 2 rounds, and increase their extra rebound rate by 25% 2 rounds. After releasing ultimate skill, if the enemy has a target of being mocked, it reduces the speed to recover fury by 8%, lasting for 2 rounds. Once the exclusive weapon is awakened, the effect of ultimate skill and damage will be greatly increased. Now, this ultimate skill is basically the same as Jupitermon. So basically, this is like a downgraded version of Jupitermon, but still, for free to play, it's a very good choice. Now it says here, Pandamon shoots out Panda Claw shaped energy wave. Deals damage to a single enemy, increase 50% ultimate resistance for allied Digimon in the same row for 2 rounds. That's pretty nice there. Its passive, during battle, increase self-rebound rate by 15%. Each attack received will increase self-defense by 8% and block rate by 6%. This can be stacked up to 40% defense, increase, and 30% block rate. It only counts in the attack round and will be reset in the next round. Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense. Self-rebound rate will increase 10% more if there are Numemon or Skumon or Sukamon Digimon in the scene. That's nice. That's nice. So if you guys plan to have a Pandamon in your team, you should think about having a Sukamon or Numemon in your team so you can get like the extra buffs. Anyway, alright, so that's Pandamon. Now back to Beetlemon over here. So it's a potential 15 Digimon. Now the skills and the fates on here the fates are easy to unlock. The skills, the ultimate skill of Beetlemon is pretty good. So heap up power of lightning and thunder and then release them all. The best thing about this is that it says here it deals damage to a single target enemy and increases 50% defense for itself and 20% damage immune rate for 2 rounds. Now if you compare this to Gaogamon, basic Gaogamon's skill or like buffs for itself are a lot better than Beetlemon, but at the same time Beetlemon gets like 50% defense for itself too, which is a big amount of difference. And the thing is, like, Beetlemon shards are easy to get as well. So yeah guys, there you have it. That's my top 5 pay-to-win Digimons and my top 5 free-to-play. Also, as I mentioned, the 6 free-to-play here. You have other options as well, which is White Bishop Chessmon 2. He's actually a strong defense type Digimon as well. Let me know what you guys think about this video. What is your favorite defense type Digimon? Leave your comments down below, and I'd love to hear from what you guys think about this video. Okay, also I would have liked to include Bacheliemon on here, but because Chaosmon is basically the improved version and also free to get, I'm not going to include this one. Now obviously don't be fooled by Marsmon guys, like it's I know if you guys played Digimon World 3 it was nice on there, but on this game it's not so strong, so yeah. Okay, that's all everyone. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Until then, take care and have a good day.